Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to sift through the sources and give you the essential knowledge you need. Today, our focus is really dynamic. We're looking at how expatriate communities in the Asia-Pacific region are doing more than just living in their adopted cities. They're actually becoming catalysts for change, really enriching these places. Think about it when you're on an extended professional assignment, maybe setting up a business or leading a team. Finding a good place to stay is, well, it's just the start. You really need to connect, to integrate, to properly live there.
That's exactly the core idea in our source material today. We aren't talking about tourists here. These are professionals, often on longer stays, managing complex work. They figure out pretty quickly that real success means building genuine local connections. And we're seeing this engagement drive some really interesting cultural, sporting, and even civic projects. The results, things like stronger professional networks, better cross-cultural understanding, and you can actually see improvements in the cities themselves.
Right. So it really begs the question for anyone thinking about that kind of move. What does this active participation actually look like on the ground? We've kind of grouped our findings into three main areas where expats are mixing things up, creating this blend of local tradition and multicultural input. Let's start with maybe the more fun side, the cultural catalyst aspect, how expats are shaking up celebrations in big Asian cities. We're talking Singapore, Bangkok, Hong Kong, Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, and the scale is what's striking now.
Yeah.
Take major Indian festivals, like Navratri, for example. Historically, these might have been smaller community things, maybe in specific halls, but now they're often huge public events, really quite large scale. And this expansion seems strategic. They're bringing in professional dance nights, quality music, fusion food, even workshops. They adapt things too, maybe using English alongside traditional languages or modern music styles for traditional dances like Garba or Dendia. Makes them really open, welcoming everyone, locals, other expats, tourists.
Ah, okay. So it's not just about preserving traditions from back home. It's more like engineering cultural integration. The sources seem to suggest these events act almost like soft power tools.
Exactly. They definitely provide that comfort, that nostalgia for people far from home. That's important. But maybe the bigger function now is fostering this kind of radical inclusivity. They adapt old forms for these new urban contexts, turning regular venues into these vibrant, ongoing cultural hubs.
Interesting. And I guess if you're a professional just moving to a city.
Oh, absolutely. Attending or even helping out with these events, that's instant networking. It sort of bypasses all the formal introductions. You connect over shared fun, shared experience. It's much less pressure than a formal business meeting, but you can build real trust.
And it shows a commitment, right? Investing in the city's cultural fabric, not just passing through.
Precisely. Moving from just being occupants to being actual cultural contributors.
Okay, so that commitment goes beyond parties and festivals. The sources also point to expats getting involved in, well, more practical civic stuff. This is where they really stop seeming like just visitors.
Yeah, the example from Gurugram in India is pretty powerful here. Expats there didn't just, write a check. They actually teamed up with local residents. They launched this big cleanliness drive in a really busy market, tackling long-standing waste problems.
Wow, hands-on stuff.
Very hands-on. It was coordinated, too. Volunteers weren't just picking up litter. They were talking to the shop owners, the vendors who've been there forever, and to shoppers, handing out info, promoting proper waste disposal. And crucially, this is key. They worked directly with the local government, the Municipal Corporation of Gurugram, the MCG. They made sure new collection systems were put in place and would actually be maintained.
That link with the MCG, the local authorities, that sounds vital for making it last. It's the difference between a one-day cleanup and actually changing habits, changing the system. But hang on, did the sources mention any friction, any local pushback? Like, who are these outsiders telling us what to do?
That's a really fair question. And yes, the analysis suggests there can be some initial skepticism sometimes. But the key to success in Gurugram, it seems, was that the expats didn't try to lead it like outsiders imposing something. They explicitly joined with existing local community groups. The focus was all on collaboration, shared responsibility, not top-down.
Makes sense.
And think about it from the perspective of someone on a long assignment. Maybe you're using a serviced office, managing a team. Getting involved in something like this isn't just charity work. It builds serious professional capital. It demonstrates you're invested in a local place, builds trust, and it can even open doors with local government that might otherwise be hard to access. Ultimately, actions like these can shift mindsets for everyone, fostering that shared sense of ownership over public spaces.
Yeah, that move from just living there to being an active partner sounds crucial for sticking around successfully long-term in a new market. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about sports. How shared interests there build networks and support systems for people settling in.
Sports provide this really important soft infrastructure. It's like a ready-made social safety net when you land somewhere new and maybe feel a bit lost.
Mm.
Take the Jakarta Expat tennis ladder. It apparently started small, quite informal, but now it's grown into this really well-organized league. People from dozens of different countries playing.
I like that tennis ladder example. It sounds accessible, low commitment maybe, but potentially high reward for making connections.
Exactly that. People compete, sure, but the way it's set up encourages a lot of socializing off the court, too. So if you're new in Jakarta, joining something like that gives you immediate access to a group who've already figured things out. Practical stuff, finding services, understanding local business ways. It's a huge help, cuts down that initial stress.
So it's an instant support system?
Pretty much. But it's not just these casual mixed nationality leagues, though those are great for quick integration.
Okay.
We also see sports reinforcing cultural identity for established groups, like Japanese expatriates across Asia. They have the annual Asian-Japanese Rugby Cup. Apparently, that tradition goes way back to the late 1990s.
Ah, interesting. A long-standing tradition then.
Yeah, and its longevity tells you something about how important it is. This tournament brings together teams from Japanese communities in different Asian countries.
Mm.
It's a really vital cultural touch point for them. It's more than just a game. It's a structured way to maintain camaraderie, offer mutual support, specifically within that diaspora. It helps reinforce their cultural identity and lets professionals who might be scattered or in demanding jobs reconnect and strengthen those bonds.
Both personal and professional bonds, I imagine.
Definitely. So if you look at the bigger picture here, whether it's a casual tennis group or a long-running rugby tournament, the sources are showing that these kinds of organized social activities provide essential groundwork, that soft infrastructure we mentioned. It's what can turn a challenging overseas assignment into something genuinely fulfilling, both personally and for your career. That feeling of belonging you get, whether it's on a tennis court or, helping clean up a market, that lets people really focus on why they're there.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. It really challenges that old idea of the expat just being temporary or separate. We've seen them driving huge festivals, leading practical local initiatives, organizing sports leagues that double as vital support networks.
And the common thread, really the overwhelming takeaway, is that success comes from active participation, from collaboration. These activities genuinely seem to break down those us and them barriers. They bring different communities closer together. It sets a pretty powerful example, doesn't it? That when professionals engage beyond just their job description culturally, civically, socially, it really does make city life better for everyone. It builds stronger ties, more understanding, and ultimately, it helps that professional feel properly settled, genuinely at home, wherever their work takes them in Asia.
So for you listening, the key takeaways seem really practical. These communities offer ready-made networks, both social and professional. They offer cultural enrichment that helps you navigate, and they offer a way to build real social capital through tangible local improvements. So we've established that active, intentional participation seems to be the absolute key for a successful extended stay. What does knowing this mean for your next professional move or entrepreneurial venture in the Asia Pacific?
Well, the sources really suggest that success abroad isn't just about finding the right service department or the best office space, though those things matter, of course. It's more about a fundamental mindset shift, moving from just being a passive consumer of city life to becoming an active, positive contributor. So maybe the challenge to mull over is this. How could you apply the lessons from those Duragram expats tackling local issues or the Jakarta tennis players building their own community? How much you contribute and connect in your next location?
That is a powerful thought to end on. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into community building across Asia. We hope this gives you some ideas for building your own soft infrastructure wherever you might be headed.